up, everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot at K-pop. We're coming at you with a super spicy episode 279, and we're recording on April 30th, 2024. I'm Doug, and joining me today, we got Warren.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And Anita.
Hello.
As a quick reminder, check out SojuTalk on your favorite podcast platform, sub to us on YouTube, and join the SojuTalk Discord and be a part of the nation. All right, first announcement. This episode is 1 day late. It has nothing to do with the Min-Heejin stuff, but it does have to do with Warren missing a flight in Utah, right?
Okay, TLDR. I went on a family trip to Utah. Saw lots of canyons, saw lots of mountains. It was great.
Nice.
He's a Mormon now. He's a Mormon
hello.
now.
What?
Yeah.
All that was great. I had a lot of fun. I was very tired. I was ready to go home. We were traveling from Moab to Salt Lake City, which is like a 3-hour drive.
Yep.
At the end of the day, my flight was at 11 p.m. We were supposed to get there around 8 p.m. We were like, hey, we have enough time. Let's go get in and out one more time. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. And then we were on the road for like another extra 4 or 5 hours because there was a crash ahead of us.
And they couldn't clear it, apparently.
They couldn't clear it for like 3 hours, which later I looked into it and I was like, okay, what happened was... What?
Bad crash?
No, yeah, apparently it was really bad. Apparently 2 trucks crashed into each other.
Oh my god.
Head first.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Obviously, those drivers were in a critical condition and they were helicoptered
course.
away to the nearest hospital. So I was like, okay, maybe, sure, I was frustrated, but like, is that really that big of a deal that I missed the flight compared to these folks who are,
Yeah.
So, this is a reminder to call your loved ones.
Did you get a hotel or did you sleep at the airport?
I was very, very lucky. So what happened was I had a red-eye flight. So this was the last flight of the day. The next flight I was able to get on was 9:50 a.m. the day after. Luckily, I was so lucky. My parents were flying out the morning after, so they already had a hotel
room.
Right.
Wow.
It was great.
Nice.
And like what was even better was because I was taking a red eye, I got one of those like Comfort Plus seats, which was extra $100.
Ooh.
That played out in my favor because like when they were getting me a new flight, they were like, oh, the price difference is actually just enough so that you're gonna get $99 back.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
It's not the worst thing in the world.
So that's why the pod's late.
Sorry, everyone.
The Afterhours today is going to be our coverage of the HYBE versus Min-Heejin Civil War. If you can't already tell, me and Warren are cosplaying as Min-Heejin at the press conference. So if you guys aren't paying attention, it exploded. It pretty much reached the climax this week of this conflict.
Yeah.
So our entire After-Hour segment is devoted to that. So if you are just here to watch that, because I'm thinking of even making it the title of this week's episode, it probably is.
We probably should. Yeah,
we're going to.
So
if you're just here for that, look into the timestamps on YouTube. Go to the State of the Nation After Hours, and that's where the coverage is. Finally, a big shout out. We had a new Fuego patron, Vivi. So shout out to them. Let's go.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Let's get to the big new releases. So it also happened that this week is probably one of the busiest musical weeks of the entire year.
Oh, great. Great.
We're covering 4 songs, but there was literally about 7 or 8 songs that potentially could have been covered. So maybe if we ever do one of those catch-up streams or something, those songs will be there. The 4 songs we are covering: Zico Spot featuring Jennie from Blackpink, NewJeans Bubblegum, which is a pre-release, IVE Heya, 17 Maestro. Songs that didn't make the cut but were very close. Jiero Yugi's solo debut with Freak, Zero Base One pre-release Sweat. We had a BB and Jackson collab, people like that, and then double Rise pre-releases. But I wouldn't consider either of these Rise pre-releases like you know how some of these videos use B-roll footage? They don't actually have a music video. It's sort of like that. So I don't know if it was of most importance in the world.
More behind the scenes.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Okay. I mean, we'll cover it if you can.
All right. Let's get to the songs, though. First one, Zico Spot featuring Jennie. He is from KOZ. Last 3 songs, Freak, Soul Drift, and Summer Hate. So before we start, Warren, I was looking at Zico's like discography and stuff.
You were? Okay.
And he had like a EP drop in 2022 under KOZ, and it didn't do particularly well. The songs on there, Soul Drift and Freak, they only charted in like the hundreds.
You're talking about Grown Ass Kid.
Yeah, is that more of a rap album? What was that?
I mean, Zico's always one of those people that balance rap music and pop music pretty well. This one leaned a little bit further into rap music than it typically
And that's
did.
probably why it didn't do so well, because he went more pop again with this spot track with Jennie, and it's number 1 on iChart right now.
Oh. I mean, like,
That's
I
what
don't
I
think
thought.
you even have to go that far. Like, I like this way more than Freak. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah. Is it only me? Is it-
I would agree.
No,
I would
this is
agree.
a banger of a track.
This is banger.
This is amazing. When I saw Jennie on the track, I'm gonna be honest, I did not know she had this much game. I underestimated the girl.
Same.
She
Same.
came in, she started singing. I was like, okay. And then all of a sudden, she went with the more high pitched, the up and down, bump, bump, bump. And I was like,
Right.
her voice fits. This was like a Cinderella moment where the shoe fit. Like,
Wait.
it was no,
Wow.
her vocal tone for this track is absolutely perfect, is what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah.
The glass shoe fit like it did for Cinderella, dude. It was amazing here.
Oh.
And then the playfulness with Zico on the
Chemistry
track.
was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
Very good.
good. And the choreography was kind of fun too towards the end. It was just a tremendous package right
Oh
here.
yeah. It's
So
this is
good.
this is a good collab. Like, you know, whenever there's like a 4-bar featuring artist, like that's a featuring artist. This is a proper
Yeah.
collab. Like, this is
Yeah.
okay. You know what? Actually, like, I'd even go farther and say like Jennie was possibly more interesting than Zico on this track. I don't know, just my take.
I had that
Ooh.
thought too at one point. I
Yeah.
had the thought.
yeah.
And I want to also
I
point
can
out,
see the
if
argument.
Jennie solo activities were still under YG, we would have never seen this.
Honestly, I think so. Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
Okay, one thing that I noticed that this one was different from the regular Blackpink releases or the previous Jennie stuff has been like this. Jennie sounds different a little bit. You can tell the vocal direction's a little different. She sounds a lot more nasally. You know what I mean?
It was good though.
Yeah,
It was
no,
like,
nasally
it was
in
like
a good way.
It
yeah.
It was like bratty in a really
Bratty,
fun way.
bratty.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of family-friendly words, and yeah, Bratty's the only one that I can use here. Yeah, no, she pulls that off perfectly, and there's a lot that she brings to the table in terms of that like campy, but also kind of bratty, kind of like ness to it. Where like Zico's also fun, but if I go back to all the collabs that Zico has done, like this is by far one of the better ones. This one and the other one might be the one that he did it with IU, and that I don't know. That yeah.
Oh,
That's your cue.
that's my cue.
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean, what can I say? I kind of agree with this the takes you guys have as well. I love the vocal tone for her here,
Oh, yeah.
for Jennie. I don't know. I liked this vibe. I think this sound for Zico is a good mix for him of like pop, but not like completely ignoring like his more hip hop side. I think there was a good mix of the two, which is maybe why I feel like I feel like I will remember this and probably go back to this more than his previous, more recent stuff. So yeah, no, I like this. I'm almost wishing that they could do more together. I want to see more
Yeah,
collaboration with them.
Yeah.
Maybe like another
Maybe
follow
he
up
could feature
soon.
on one of the songs on her upcoming.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I wouldn't complain.
Something more upbeat. I feel like more hard hitting would be interesting to see them both on. Because I like the chemistry they had. I think it was good in the music video, but also sound wise. I thought it went really well together. So I like it.
It felt like a very risky and not common choice to begin with a featuring artist doing a chorus on the beginning of the song, right? I felt like that was probably one of the reasons why it felt almost like Jennie featuring Zico. But I do think one of the reasons it begins with the narration from Zico, on the other hand, was probably to make sure we remember, oh, it's a Zico track. It's a Zico thing.
Right.
That being said, he says, everything okay, man? I'm like, no, everything is not okay. Your company's on fire right now. Like, dude, like.
No, not his company.
The funniest thing is Zico dropped this track and he's been having a great time. He's been posting like TikToks with I-DLE and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
everyone's like, the whistle's on fire, guys. Like, but Zico seems to be just chilling. He don't give an F.
He had to release the song like 6 hours after it was supposed to drop because it overlapped with the fun little
Hey,
press
but it went
conference.
number one. He can't complain. No,
That's good.
like,
That's good.
they're doing great. And like, I think like Magnetic is still number 2, you know?
Oh.
Like, so and I think the only thing holding back this song spot for having Perfect All Kill is the YouTube ranking. That's the only thing. On all the actual music charts is number 1 right now. So it's crushing.
I do want to note, like the vocals, the lyrics here is like really fun too as well. Like that, this might be something that like I would like look into translations for, not with the idea of what's the deeper meaning, but just more so of like the idea of what's a fun way to express having a good time at a party, that kind of thing, right? Like for instance, there's a part where he goes, "Our project title is called Jay-Z, which is Jennie and Zico." And then he says, "We gonna run this town. That's crazy." I'm like, okay, like I see what you're doing there. That's kind of fun. You know what I mean? Like that's that's a reference that we're gonna get as well because we know who Jay-Z is. You know, like.
Right.
I also think Jennie's on a real hot streak right now. Like the reintroduction of Jennie into normal society, not as a YG product. No,
out
really.
of the basement.
Because she appeared on that show with Jae-suk recently. There was a variety show that was on Amazon Apartment 404. Jennie in YG versus Jennie outside of YG feels like two different people to me. The personality wise and the image they present out. And I'm like, this is Jennie from the block, Calvin Klein Jennie, you know, like this is Jennie, you know, when she's acting like a dork sometimes. No, but I think that this new vibe she's giving off is the energy's great. I'm really excited for the solo release, what it's gonna look like. Man, they're just like intersected all these things into this track. I think this kind of collab's gonna go down like sort of like that Hayes and Dean Angeli thing back in the day where we were like, man, that was a real fun collab. This is another one of those.
That's a throwback.
We like that song a lot.
That was a good
But
song.
similar to that track, this one for me was spicy for sure. This was a spicy track.
You know what? I'll agree with you. I feel like this was spicy for me.
It was a little bit low spicy, but spicy enough.
Nah, I listened to this all day. I would honestly listen to this one all day. Let's go to the next one. In the midst of the Civil War, right? The bullets are flying left and right. People are hiding under cover. People are throwing out their laptops, maybe. People are accusing each other of all this and that. One of the main topics involved in that story, NewJeans, dropped the pre-release, and I don't think people knew. It was like a surprise drop. I don't think people knew it was going to drop.
They got some promotion because they mentioned it at the press conference.
Yeah, something like that. But it was just kind of, the hand was forced. And they dropped Bubblegum, which is a pre-release. They are from Adore. We don't know how long that will remain, though, maybe, but they are from Adore at the moment, which is still apparently under the umbrella. Their last 3 tracks, ETA, Cool With You, Super Shy. Everyone knows who NewJeans is if you're tuning into this, most likely. How did we feel about Bubblegum?
What can I say? I love this sound. The city pop inspired retro.
Why did I know exactly what you're gonna say? I was like waiting for you to say it. I was like,
exactly. We know it. We already know it.
This is right up Anita's alley. This is right.
This was for me.
Yeah,
this was
made for you. Yeah. 250 sat down and he was like, I've been listening to SojuTalk. What does Anita like? Slow city pop songs. This is what I'm gonna make.
Exactly. No, I really liked. So context about this, right?
Yeah.
Pre-release, but also it was meant to be a feature for a commercial of a Japanese shampoo called Essentials.
Wow, really?
And I went to see the actual thing, the actual product, like the commercial bit that they did for it. And it makes a lot of sense, like sound-wise, atmosphere-wise, why they would go this route. A lot of that retro feeling in the song itself, but also in the visuals. Makes sense with how they were trying to portray like the brand. So I'm really, I don't know, I'm really glad that we kept this high quality production and all this, despite what's going on with all the stuff in the company and the management. But
real quick, I found the images of the promotion for they're doing for Essentials or Essential. I'm not sure exactly which. Here they are, real quick. They have very luscious hair.
Well, yeah, that's the marketing.
Hey, you know what was not luscious? Hani's hair in this music video.
Wait, okay.
Can we talk about the hair?
But it was cute. I thought it was cute.
My girl Hani fam looking like a 4-year-old entering like nursery school, guys.
No,
I think
what?
Hani fam is my favorite member of this group. Oh, they butchered her hair, guys. Objectively.
Okay, I've been debating. Is it actually her hair? I don't know if it's actually her hair.
I'm not a fan.
That's gotta
Want
be
to throw
weird.
that out
I
there.
thought it looked cute. I thought it was fine.
That picture.
Danielle's hair is
That
also
one.
really cute.
Well, Danielle's hair always looks amazing. Come
Okay.
on, let's-
Right?
Okay, I feel like they went with okay. I know TikTok likes to pick on Danielle's hair about like how like they were forcing her to have straight hair and it's ruining her hair roots, which doesn't make any sense. But anyways, it feels like regardless of that, they went with her natural hair, and I was like, okay, like
Yeah.
this is pretty
great.
dope. Like I could get
great.
more of
That
this.
looked nice.
One
The
thing I
bowl
did
cut
not.
honey, I'm like I could get more of this too. I'm not complaining.
No, can we stop? Can we stop? You're looking like my little nephew running around with that haircut, guys. Ain't gonna,
I
ain't
think
a good
it's
look.
cute.
Not great.
Um,
One other thing I didn't like. It has nothing to do with the song.
Oh, hey.
Is
what?
the Heyan speaking parts at the front and the end of the of the music video.
What is there to hate about that?
There's I hate when it's not only girls in Korea, when girls and guys in Korea like slow down their speech, make it a little more high pitched, and then they try to act cute all of a sudden. I die. It's like 안녕. 나는 잼명이야. 너 친구 할래? Like he can't handle this.
Well, that's
what was that? That is not what she's asking.
I'm pretty sure there's an audience for it, though.
You 16. You 16.
I don't think there's an audience for Doug saying 안녕 나는 잼명이. That does not.
Oh, I think there is. It's just not us.
Those fans speak up, apparently.
I'm not. She was made to do this, but I was like, given the context with Min-Heejin right now, we're gonna infantilize someone's voice with Min-Heejin popping off right now. We're gonna do this. Now
It's too consistent.
it's too consistent with
Oh,
what we
man.
but
Look.
that's just me. It has nothing to do. I still like Heyan, but I don't like her part that she was given at the front and the end of this music video.
That is
That's all
just
I
how
wanted to
people
say.
speak.
That is the end of my Min-Heejin press conference.
Where are your cut talks? Where are your cut talks? Okay, I think the speaking's fine. Whatever. I'm not gonna talk about that. The song's
handle
great
it.
too. Song's great. It's
Yes.
here's what it felt like to me. It felt like the NewJeans take on what has been the slow disco trend. The slow, the what's the name? Billy did it. IVE did it. You know, obviously 50/50 was the first one to do this kind of thing. That kind of sound. You know what sound I'm talking about. You got the keyboards, you got the EPs, you got
Yeah.
the pads, you got the little rhythm guitars that's going like bop, 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 that kind of thing, and then the drums like boom, pam, boom, pam. Like, you know. All that to say is they gave their kind of take on the trend, and I think that was a little less exciting than other stuff that they've done up until this point, because a lot of the stuff they've
That
done
was my
has
only
been, like,
thing. It's
genre
like
breaking.
I think this is great as like wow, they're so good at singing. The song's fun, but like compared to everything else that they've done, it's just like it's a vibe.
It's a vibe,
you know?
yeah.
It's a vibe.
Yeah.
The thing is-
And I
The thing
like
is-
the vibe.
The thing is, like, because now they're doing something, they're giving their own take on something that everybody else has done. Now I end up comparing this with the other releases. Y'all gonna tell me I'm biased for this, but they just sound really good. The song's really well arranged.
You're not wrong. You're
course,
not
of
wrong,
course.
Warren.
It is a lot better than some of the other attempts that have kind of attempted the sound.
Yeah. They're all looking great. Like Minji looked pretty, but according to Min-Heejin, she was prettier when she was a trainee at Source.
What?
That's what she said in the press conference, word for
Wait
word.
until I drink my fucking water to say that shit.
That's just chose
to be fair,
violence today.
this Min-Heejin hype Civil War is just a meme city. Like,
It's a
let's
huge
be
meme.
honest.
So many
You a
memes.
Kezoshi
It's-
dog? You a Kezoshi?
I know. It's like it's insane. Well, just hold on, guys. We're gonna get to
We'll
that
get
at the end of the
there.
show. It's gonna
We'll
be
get there.
hilarious. We're gonna meme together through the whole thing. That being said, this is the problem I'm having is I like so many songs this week, and I like some of them from last
Really?
week. My Soju chart is gonna be a complete mess. I'm already trying to visualize what I want to put.
I mean, that's
It's a
fine.
mess.
That's fine.
It's a mess.
Look,
This is spicy though. It's a spicy track.
See.
Is it my favorite track ever? Am I gonna listen to this all the time? Maybe not. Is it my favorite NewJeans song? No. But is it a spicy track? It is for me.
Here's the thing. Here's how I think about spicy, tingly, and mild these days. Spicy is something that I actively want to come back to listen to all the time. Tingly feels like something I wouldn't skip if it comes on my queue.
Right.
Mild is something I would skip. and I just wouldn't want to listen to
So
it.
this is tingly then for you, right?
This is a little tingly for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
Yeah, I think they did a great job of proving
Well-
themselves apart from their competitors, but
You are right about that. Like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't search for bubblegum in the playlist.
I have
be
and
like-
I will.
Okay. That's
Okay,
fair. You're
fine.
allowed to. You're allowed to.
sure. Where are your cat talk receipts?
You're not under a slave contract like Min-Heejin is at High.
You're not held down by a
Oh,
shareholder
boy.
agreement.
All right, let's pivot. All
Wow.
right, the next track is IVE. Heya. This is a title track, literally a title track, guys. Here it is. They are from Starship. Last 3 songs, baddie, off the record. Either way, how did we feel about Heya?
Let's talk about the music video before the song. Like, is that a fair
Beautiful.
take?
I love this.
Yeah, I
music
know,
video.
right?
It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
The colors, the
Ev-
It kind of felt like their
the
Kwangya.
set.
futuristic, like
Yeah.
Oriental kind of like Asian inspired that thing.
Yeah.
Like,
It was
It kind
nice.
of looked like a mix to me of like Kwangya and It's a Small World or some shit.
sorry, what? Where'd you get It's a Small World?
No,
from?
because like there's certain
Amusement
points where
park?
they use like streamers as rain, and they do that in It's a Small World,
Oh,
like
okay.
things like that.
Oh.
Okay.
Like in terms of set
Interesting.
design, this could be like It's a Small World set. Certain points of this.
I mean, I think the set was cool, and I can see what you mean by like the small world thing, like
Yeah,
having those like plastic clouds floating around, stuff like
or
that.
like, or like the fake mountain.
right.
It's like yeah, that's a very like Disney thing.
And they did a lot of like I'm looking. I have the music video pulled up on my screen right now. I'm looking at it on the side, and there's like scenes where like they played around the perspective, where like some members are like portrayed much larger than other members because they're in a different perspective. And like that's I don't know, that stuff like that was pretty cool. I gotta say, like this has been the most
editing,
interesting
yeah.
music video I've seen in a long time. Just color wise,
Right?
theme wise, editing wise.
Best part of this whole music video, Liz's purple hair is the highlight of this music video.
Oh yeah.
I thought Liz was amazing in this music video. She
I
was
think-
so good.
What? Okay, she was my favorite member of the whole song.
Yeah, I would think.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I love her
or Heejin.
parts.
Heejin 8 too. Heejin was up. Eugene's up. Eugen might be maybe a hot take for me. For me, this is a Doug take, not a you take. It's a me take.
Okay, this does not represent the.
If I was building
Me.
a girl group and I could take just one current idol out of the current generation of kids who debuted in the last like 3 years,
I would also take.
I would
Eugen.
pick Eugen number 1.
I would also take
100%.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She's just so good. And I thought Wonyoung, I think like sometimes people say like Wonyoung comes off too cold or not personable enough. I thought her parts were really good. They gave her a lot of singing lines and I thought it was great. She gave her the pre-chorus. She did a great job.
She sounded great.
thought- my only issue with this track was that sometimes I thought the pacing was kind of like strange, or kind of like we did the hey part, right? And then we just randomly took breaks sometimes and stuff in this track. And I was just like, I don't know, the continuity seems a little weird to me.
I think
It was also. Oh, go ahead.
No, keep on.
No, I was gonna say I don't know if it was breaks. There might have been breaks. I'm trying to remember. But for me, it was kind of like switch ups where we start
It's like
one
keep it
way,
up.
right?
Yeah.
And then a couple seconds after we are in a different place sound wise. And I noticed there's a lot in the beginning of this, like the track sounds one particular way, and then the rest of the verse continues. I think Liz might come in at some point, and that's when it starts sounding very different. And then we get the pre-chorus, and then the chorus. It felt a little sectioned off, and like I didn't think it was flowing too well, like in between parts. But I don't know, maybe it was just me needing to listen to it again.
What you're referring to is the first verse, right? Into the first chorus. The first 4 bars has keyboards, pianos, and then Ray is doing her thing, and then it shifts into like a double time hip hop beat, and then you have Liz singing, and that's one switch up right there, which typically doesn't happen in K-pop. I can see that. But I felt like it worked, especially because they start off with a high note, high note in terms of tension, and then they pull back. So it felt like similar to what Jennie was doing in the Zico track. They begin with Jennie's chorus, which is obviously high note, and they pull back into like a low note, which is the Zico verse. And I felt like that was a similar kind of switch up there, and I felt like that worked. Although I can definitely see how like it's pretty atypical for K-pop, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of respect them for doing it, because it felt like it was a fresh take on how to make the song short.
Do you think this song was short?
It's not 12 minutes.
No, but I guess I was thinking it didn't feel short to me. It felt like it almost felt quite long. I remember checking to see like where are we at
Really?
time wise, and we still had like a good chunk left.
Here's what I'm saying is like the song is 3 minutes 10 seconds, which is objectively shorter than the
okay.
average pop song. It's longer than the average pop song right now, but like it's still a
Right.
short song. But what I think it did really well is pacing the whole thing so that it doesn't feel short.
One part I'm still kind of mixed on. And like if you look at the music video, 117 in, right? 117 around there.
Yeah.
We go into this transitionary period, and it kind of felt like you were in an elevator. And then oddly, the visual motif is that there's like an elevator thing going on.
Right.
Like something is like there's the pelican, whatever you call that thing, is rising up, and it's like I just wasn't a fan of those type of transitionary points. Felt like we just kind of added
felt a
them
little
in
empty.
randomly.
Right.
Yeah, it just felt empty. Like it feels like all right, we're like it's like it kind of felt like all right, guys, get your energy back. We're gonna do the second part of the song now. Get ready, right? And then they did it. It felt like randomly put in there.
I don't know. I liked it because it was there for
Okay.
pacing and there for transitions, and I think that's always important. Something that's cool about this song that I was gonna mention is it's written by Ryan Jun and Dem Joints, which is a collab I've never seen.
Joints.
This was good. It was good. This is a good collab here.
Yeah.
I liked it.
You know what? Now that I hear that them joints was involved, a lot of the switch ups make sense.
How do you feel about rapping Isil Gal Ray? How do we feel about these rap sections, Warren?
Are you asking me?
Hey, we start with Ray rapping. That's how we started this whole mess.
All right. Look, I didn't like it.
Okay.
But I mean, I like
I
the
thought
way
it was
Liz
fine.
sings.
No, they were really good parts vocally, I thought.
Vocally, I was impressed. Rap-wise, not so
Yeah.
much.
What I also enjoyed about this song is like when we get to towards the end, right? And we repeat the chorus, it was actually a sense of progression because we added more shit in at the end. Like it sounded like we
Yeah.
built something. In a lot of these tracks lately, we just keep repeating the same chorus. I'm like, what do we build to? This song actually has some build. We actually like fulfill on it towards the end.
And you know what? I liked that building so much that I wish we could have had that chorus throughout the whole song. I liked the last version of the chorus way more than the earlier ones.
It's a lot more explosive.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess, yeah, it makes sense that they're building up to it, and that's why it's
But if
like
we're in the
that.
concert, we're watching a concert and they hit this third chorus, everyone would go nuts, and the fireworks would probably shoot off right as the chorus
yeah.
starts. You know, right? Like,
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. I like IVE. I think IVE's they're killing
I
it.
like
This has 20 million views already. This track.
Wow.
One thing I'm seeing this as, right? Like I'm trying to think about their bigger picture, of their whole discography here. It feels like the first 4 releases. I'm gonna not think about the pre-releases for now, but the first 4 releases, which was Love Dive. Sorry, 11 Love Dive, After Like, and then I Am. All those felt like they were on a similar plane of theming and concepting. And then you had Baddie, and then you have Heya. Baddie and Heya feels like they're also on a different plane, but together, that's another plane of concept.
Well, what about Kitsch?
Correct.
Kitsch is a pre-release. I'm like not gonna think about Kitsch.
Oh, okay,
right now.
that's okay. Okay.
Although like this feels a lot more Kitsch, like the dictionary
Yeah.
term.
Yeah.
It feels a lot more campy. And I felt like it was working a lot better than it was with Baddie here. It's still very quirky with the visuals, and the song itself is very much based off of hip hop music. I would still like to see a little better rap, but I mean, everything else, I felt like this was a much better take of what Baddie tried to achieve. Similar to how Love Dive felt like to me, a much better version of what 11 tried to achieve. So yeah, I mean, so far that's really dope.
What IVE also does well is that most of their tracks still sound very distinctly K-pop tracks. I don't know how to put it. They just sound like traditional K-pop sometimes, and it's good. It's a good thing. It's a positive.
Well, there was that one. The way the chorus is structured is like they do the heya, 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 and then one of the vocals has this kind of melodic line, da 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 da. Da, 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 da. And that part is what, for me, that's like, okay, K-pop's good at that. You gotta have that. That's a K-pop.
Yeah. That's what I like about their song. They sound like the traditional K-pop girl group is IVE, right? And they're hitting that market because, you know, Korean people have heard this type of, like, I'm not gonna say they've heard Heya before, but some of the motifs, some of the way the choruses sounds very traditionally K-pop. And that's why people are eating this shit up, which I am too. I'm that as well.
Wow.
Man, I've given out almost all. This is spicy for me too.
Oh wow,
this was great. I thought this was great. I love IVE. IVE is fantastic.
Spicy.
It was a little spicy, but I feel like I'm growing to like it a little bit more. And also, the music video is just so good. You need to see the music video for this.
Music video is great.
If you haven't already,
it looked great.
It does.
NewJeans' hair got even shorter, but it looks fantastic as well here, right? Hey, if you got short hair, you're killing it right now. Honestly, like she's killing it. Chaewon's killing it. Hani, even though I don't like it's killing it.
There you go. There you go.
So it seems to be the move right now. If you're like one of the it kids, you gotta have short hair. It's the thing. All right, let's go to the last track. 17 Maestro. They are from not Pledis. No, not SM. I have on my thing. They're from Pledis. We all know this. Last two songs, Got a Music, F My Life, Super. The interesting thing about this release is there was AI used in the teasers, and they specifically warned before the teaser started that we used AI components in this teaser.
Oh,
Did they not also use it in the actual music video though?
I think they did a little bit in certain spots.
I thought they did too.
That being said, they spent so much money on this. It's insanity. Like that outro shot where there's like the metronome swinging, but it's a building.
Oh yeah.
Like I was thinking, like, is this the Cyberpunk second expansion going on here or something? Like, it was insanity. This type of stuff they were showing us on this track.
I don't know if there's like 17
lore or something,
but like that
there should be. It was crazy.
Do you remember there was a set in Super that kind of looked like that?
A little bit,
a huge triangular building, and I was like, is that like a shout out back to that? I don't know. I might be pulling out of my ass here. I but agree with you. It looks cool.
My only issue with Maestro, I think, has a lot of fantastic parts. I'm not the biggest fan of the chorus. The la 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 chorus.
It feels like it goes down, doesn't it? Like I feel like we were building really high.
We had a crazy build. We had an insane build, and then we had an anti-drop.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It'd be one thing if the anti-drop was good. Just not really good here. I don't know. That part felt like they were suddenly a very generic K-pop boy group for all of a sudden for no reason. When the song was doing so much to build a theme, that like it plays off of 17's image pretty well, right? Because if you think about 17, you think about the fact that there are members that are actively involved in songwriting and, like, for example, Lucy and stuff like that. So it makes a lot of cool sense that they would do a concert like this. And then once you actually get to the chorus, it sounds pretty typical. And I was like, okay, I mean,
I just think it's a bit of a shame because that phrase they say right before the chorus, it's the na maestro dun 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 dun, dun with the brass behind it was so cool, right? I was like, oh shit, we gonna pop off here, and then we did na 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 da, 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 da. And I was like, god damn it, you know? I was like, I thought that was a bit of a shame because I thought they were cooking. This pre-chorus was amazing. I was so hyped. And then we had the thing with the Maestro, we were doing this. I was like, oh, we're going to do something insane right here. And then we just did like a typical chorus. And I was like, god damn it.
So most of the song is written in dance pop, hip hop, dance hip hop, that kind of thing. And then you get to the second verse and then all of a sudden they have a techno beat. And
the
then
Wonu,
like
Wonu fight scene.
Yeah.
It looked like an old boy fight scene in the hallway. It was crazy.
Yep.
And he goes, oh, techno, I can combine it with everything. I'm like, you kind of
I think at that point, that's where I was kind of wondering why or if all of the different switch ups were necessary. Because I think with this one as well, with this song in particular, I noticed when we started a certain way and then switched to a different thing, the chorus also felt like it was a little different than, at least in energy, from the rest of the song. And then jumping into that section, I was just wondering like where we were building to, what we were meant to, like what the leading structure was supposed to be. Because I mean, essentially that beat comes back again, right? At the end, the dance break and all that. But it feels like when we get there, it feels like so much time has already passed. Like it was such a disconnect.
You know why it feels disconnected? Because at like 3 minutes and 5 seconds in, I thought the song was over. When we had Mingyu go on the stage and look behind, I was like, oh, I guess that's the end of the song.
And then that's the problem with the long break.
We had the 8 part, and I was like, oh, it's still going? I was like, oh, okay, I like the 8, you know, like.
And then a rap part, and then the dance break,
Yeah.
So, something that's written in the press release that, so context, right? This title track is meant to be the title of their best of album, right? This isn't a normal album or an EP or such. This is a repackage of some of their best songs. This is I believe their 9th anniversary or such. Don't quote me on that. Actually, 9th anniversary.
9th. Yeah, 9th makes sense. Yeah.
Right. So like if you look at the album release, it has about 33 songs, a lot of which are releases from their previous most popular releases. And the press release for this track in particular says that it has sample elements, sources from their previous releases: Akinda, Azu Nice, Otona, Fear, Rock With You, Cheers, and Super, and Maestro. Into Maestro.
All of that?
Apparently all of that. I didn't pick up on any of it.
I'm starting to see why.
Only because I'm not familiar with half of these songs here. But I will say is that's a lot of ambition.
Also, do you know what like the song's about? Because they talked about it because the BSS appeared on Hang Out With You, Normal Mohani this week. And they're like, the whole song's just about how like we're the ones conducting the whole industry. That's what this is about. That's what they said, word for word.
That's a very marketing friendly way to say what the song's about. The song's about how they're musicians and they make their future and that kind of thing. I mean, so like it does what it needs to do, except it tries to do a little too much, and that's where it loses me a little bit. Like it's really cool that they try to build off of the kind of image they have as musicians, and they're like, oh, we're the maestro, we're
I like that concept.
That's cool, but like it feels like they looked up music introduction 101 and then pulled out all the terms at the back of the page and then like threw all of it into the lyrics. I'm like, accelerando, crescendo. I'm like, okay, buddy, you calm down.
To be fair though, at the end of the day, I kind of like this song.
I knew you would say that.
It's a good song. There's a lot of great parts. The vibe is awesome. The music video is fantastic. I like 17. I've watched their whole Nana tour with Na PD thing. I watched the whole thing.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
That's like 10, 12 hours of footage, right?
Wow.
No, it's even more. It's like 8, 9, 10. I watched like 20 hours of 17 variety. Like in 2 days, in 5 days, right? So I know all the kids now. I know their personalities. So I'm a big fan of 17 all of a sudden, right? I know everything. I know all the backstory. I can tell who's friends with who. All this now, right? But like, I like the techno section. I thought, okay, we're doing this all of a sudden.
Okay, see, oddly enough, the techno section was the thing that caught me the most because it was so different. Yeah. And it kind of had that energy that I was expecting from this type of release, right? From like the grandeur of it, like the concepting and everything.
It felt very grand.
Right? And I don't know, I guess I wish it would have been incorporated a little bit better throughout the song instead of it just being in a shorter section in the middle and then the dance break. But I mean, still a cool song.
I'm gonna
cool video.
I'm gonna piggyback off of what you said there, and say I like the techno section a lot more than the regular section. The transitions were not there, so it doesn't really fit. So you end up with a song that's kind of distracting when I'm listening to it. I wish they built the whole song around the techno thing instead of forcing a piano beat because they have a song called Maestro.
I'll counter that saying that similar to the IVE song, how you guys said, I wish the last chorus was all the choruses. They did a
Right.
similar thing here, right? Where they built to that as well.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, where
I guess-
the
yeah, I
last
guess
one
in
has
a way
all
they
the
did.
everything involved,
And it
where the
becomes-
front
Yeah.
two did not.
See, I felt like that's too much.
You thought it was too much this time?
Yeah.
Especially with the thing, right?
Honestly, if the whole song was that vibe, I wouldn't complain. It's
You
just
know, the
between
thing is-
that and the piano beat. I don't know.
I want to like this more than I do. You know what I mean? I want to love this song so
Yet.
much because I thought, they spent so much money. It looked great. The build was
Oh, yeah.
fantastic. And like
Yeah.
the certain segments, I was like, okay, we got a fight scene with techno beat. That's
Oh.
cool. It's like the Matrix
Oh,
all of a sudden,
nice.
right? And then we call back on that. That's one. But when I think about the whole thing as a whole, how did it fit? How did it flow? There's just like some glaring issues to me. You know, some things that I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I wish we could have made a little different decisions here. And I think we would have put it together. It
Little
would have been
bit.
crazy.
Yeah, I think they were a little ambitious here. A little too much. I'm gonna go with mild for this one.
Whoa!
Whoa. I was gonna say
Whoa.
tingly. Hi, tingly.
I was gonna give out all spices this week.
Oh, that's okay.
I like.
You do it.
man.
You can do it.
Sometimes people say like we don't like the music. I liked all the songs this week. I thought they were all fun.
That's
I had a
nice.
great
How
time.
dare you? Now we're gonna get hate comments about how we like everything now.
Hey,
This
the
is-
spring is coming. The weather's getting warmer. I'm in a good mood. I liked all of these songs. I was having a great time.
Really?
you
Is
should.
that why you're in
Have
a
a
LA
great time.
Dodgers hat and a green striped T-shirt?
I hate the Dodgers, by the way, but that's
Hey.
wearing it because of Min-Heejin. We're wearing it because of her. Yeah, I had a. That's why. Can you see now why my spice charts conflicted? Because I liked all the songs.
I'm
Yeah,
very
having a
curious.
Huge
Good luck.
problem.
No, yeah.
Other releases this week: Heejin Hyuk with "Relax," Yugi's "Freak" solo debut. It's in English as well. Zero Base
Yeah.
One Sweat pre-release. Artemis Candy Crush pre-release. I don't know if you could even name a song that, but they did Candy Crush. BBX Jackson, Feeling Lucky. That is one sensual ass music video. They're like up in each other's grill. Their faces
have
are
not
like
seen
2
this.
inches apart the entire time.
That's cool.
More or less.
Okay, that's fine.
We have
Interesting.
82 Major with Choke. Rise, 2 pre-releases. One is called One Kiss. The other one is called 9 Days. I forgot to mention in the NewJeans section, people are kind of confused right now because the NewJeans title track is coming out the same time that RM's album's coming out. So
Oh,
people are like, given the context of all the stuff that's going on, people are like, what's going on here?
Okay.
Yeah.
RM is releasing an album and NewJeans is releasing an album. It's the same time, same day, same minute.
Same day, May 24th. They're dropping both on the same day.
Okay. Well, I'm glad there's a lot of
Okay.
good internal communication in terms of.
Yeah, isn't that just adding to the mess, right? You know, like
Oh, yeah.
so people who are pro
100%.
Min-Heejin are more angry. People who are more high pro are also more angry. You know, everyone's angry. And this scenario.
How
There's no
dare
benefit
they
to
do that? How dare?
Yeah, but you're not gonna specify who they are, right? You're
How
not
dare
gonna-
those people do this
Yeah.
thing?
Let's move on to Spice Kingdom. Last week, Warren cock blocked us from getting Rise double crowns.
yeah.
So Rise Impossible is in first to 1 crown.
cannot believe.
My Monster is in second. QWER TBH is in second. Other candidates include, well, the new candidates are the 4 songs we covered. Zico Spot featuring Jennie, NewJeans Bubblegum, IVE Heya, 17 Maestro. My chart, oh my goodness. You gotta put Rise Impossible in first still.
Thank you, Doug.
Have to.
Yes,
It's the best out of those
Exactly.
5 songs. You gotta.
you gotta.
Second place, I'm gonna put Zico Spot featuring Jennie.
Ooh, okay,
My
nice.
second place. Third place, I'm not gonna put NewJeans on the chart this week. I just thought that was more of a vibe than a real like.
Okay,
song I'm gonna
okay,
be
Calling it a
okay.
fake song. You're calling their identity fake.
Dang.
I'm calling it I'm calling it for what it is. It's a pre-release.
Okay.
So is the Rise song.
But to be fair, though, the Rise song's a pre-release. Some of the argument just failed. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not in a court of law like some other people. I don't have to be
Ooh.
specific about the word.
I'm gonna file an accusation for your.
All right. The third place song is between Maestro and Heya.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
shit!
Dude, that's Heya. Heya.
It is Heya actually.
There you go.
As much as it pains me, Heya gets third. Yeah,
Nice.
that's my chart. Anita, what's yours?
I'm also gonna start with the obvious. First place, Impossible from Rise.
Crazy.
I
Why you're
really,
crazy?
really love this song.
It's so
I
good.
I saw the other pre-releases. This is still my favorite, I think.
Yeah.
So here's to hoping the title track is not too different. Although it probably will be, but I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying Impossible. The dance is so cool. Second place, I mean, I gotta give it to NewJeans.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
This was for me. Actually, they said
It was for
this
it was
is my
just for
treat.
Anita. At the beginning of the music video, did you guys see the part where it said for Anita? They sang, yeah.
Yeah, well,
50's personal letter to.
yeah. What can I say? I love this type of sound, and I don't know. I like this as a pre-release. I'm looking forward to the main track even more. And then lastly, third place, I'm gonna give it to Heya from IVE.
Okay.
One of the prettiest, like, coolest music videos in a while. It's so nice. I love the styling, love the
shout out
set
to Liz.
design.
Right.
Yeah, and honestly, it was really nice. The performance, the shots, the editing, it's just so cool. The lighting, yeah. Watch the music video if you haven't already. It's a nice song.
Hi, that's my cue.
That's your cue.
Impossible by Rise. Look, I know it wasn't on my chart last week. It was just impossible from
Travesty.
being on the chart last week. What are you gonna do? The song has built on me. It is now second place.
Okay, thank goodness.
It's a good song. Third place actually goes to Heya by IVE. I'm being, other than the rap, I have no qualms. Beat's pretty fun. I like the way it's arranged, the way it goes from like very campy, and then you have like these like melodic lines in the chorus, and then it ends with dun 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 dun. Like that's pretty cool. Music video's dope too. Like that's what sold me on it. That leaves me with first place, which is Spot Zico featuring Jennie.
Ooh.
First spot goes to Spot. That's
Nice.
a dope song.
Wow. All right. SojuTalk Nation and Gochu Gang, it was very contentious this week,
It
guys.
really was.
Like, I'll go from fifth place, QWER, which technically shouldn't. It's barely even nominated because Warren revived them from the dead last week, right? That came in fifth place, 41 points.
Let's go.
41 points. Only 1 point more was Zico's Spot, fourth place.
Let's not
Third
go,
place.
guys. What?
IVE Heya, 60.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Second place, 61 points. NewJeans Bubblegum.
Oh wow.
First
Nice.
place, 64 points. Rise Impossible. That's
Let's
how close
go.
this was. 64,
Yes.
61, 60. Super contentious.
A
week.
win is a win. A win is a win is a win.
As a result, right, I'm doing some tabulation. Third place this week with 6 points, NewJeans Bubblegum.
Yes.
Second place with 8 points, Zico Spot featuring Jennie. And in first place, once again, not entering the Hall of Spice because of Warren, is Rises Impossible, 2 crowns.
I gave it points. Why are you pissed?
Next week.
I gave it points.
If you gave it 4 points, it'd be a Hall of Spice. You never have to worry about the song again.
Spot is way better. I'm sorry. Like, just fight me for it if you want.
We will. Next week.
All right,
All right.
fine. Come find
Finally,
me. Beat me
we're
up.
at show
Where's your
winners.
baseball bat?
Anita, hit us with the show winners.
Yes, we have 2 big winners. First off, I-DLE with Magnetic. They won on M Countdown, Show Music Award, and Kigayo. So a total win of 11. 11 wins so far with this song.
11!
With
That's
a
a lot of
debut. Great. And then we have Boy Next Door with Earth, Wind, and Fire. They won on the show Champion, and Music Bank. So 3 wins for them so far.
God, I was so
Congrats to them.
confused for a second. I was like, why is Earth, Wind, and Fire winning?
That's
anything?
why I keep thinking about that whenever I see that song
They're
name.
defunct. They're not active anymore.
Yeah. Are they the group that has one and only? Is that them, Anita?
Boy Next Door?
And only. Is that
Yeah.
them? Okay, I
Yes.
like that
Yeah.
song too. I like Boy Next Door.
How'd you forget?
That ends part 1. So it's like episode
No, it's the group of
279.
September.
We'll be back after a short break with the non-Hype versus Min-Heejin news. We have to separate it like that, guys. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, SojuTalk SojuTalk Nation, this is Anita here with a quick PSA. If you would like to support SojuTalk Kpop Podcast, please like, subscribe, or follow us on whatever platform you're using. And consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/SojuTalk or donating to us at paypal.me/SojuTalk. On behalf of the crew and myself, thank you. Now back to our regularly scheduled episode.
All right, we are back at it. Part 2 of Soju Talk, episode 279. We're going to talk about some non-HYBE Min-Heejin Civil War news and events from the past week. So, as I said, all of the HYBE Min-Heejin coverage will be in the State of the Nation After Hours at the end of the show. What I have here is all the news articles that does not include any of that. So, let's go through those.
Things still happened, is what I'm hearing.
So this one is from not this past week, but the week before that. Someone in our comments section on the last episode said we forgot to mention this, and we did. I did not mention this, but it's a big one.
How dare you?
The U.S. is increasing visa fees for international artists. Prior to April 1st, the visa fee was $460 per person, and after it is going to be like $1,600 per person for bands and ensembles, and they pay per person, and that includes staff of the groups.
Yo, that's like 4 times.
4 times they've increased it.
What?
What is the point?
So it is now 4 times as expensive for your favorite K-pop group and their company and their staff to come to the U.S. to do tours.
I'm sorry. Why are the visa fees going up for What is the reason? Do we know?
The only exception is a visa waiver program, which is for showcases, and it's when people are not paid. So if you're getting paid for doing anything, it's 4 times as expensive now.
Gosh.
So we know we need money to survive, to eat food and have a.
I think they
house.
know. Yeah, I think they know.
Yeah,
So let's say before our 5-member girl group needed the 5 girls and 20 staff to come do something right in the U.S.
Right.
So that would be like $8,000. It's now going to be $32,000.
Oh my god.
Oh my, talk about a budget.
Right, that's insanity.
So smaller groups won't be able to make it, I'm guessing now, right?
There's a group, Purple Kiss. Now it seems like they're testing this out. Their entire tour is in Canada that they announced. So I don't know.
Okay.
So that might be a symptom of this. So there is that. So I just wanted to point that out. It's terrible. This probably has implications, meaning that only the huge groups that are filling huge stadiums will probably be able to come.
We'll have to see how this plays out. Like, this has got to impact the bigger groups too. Like, they also have a budget. Like,
they bring even more, like 17, 13 dudes. Like,
oh shoot, you're right.
That's a shit ton of money. Yeah. Let's keep going. Next one, I-DLE Magnetic Perfect All Kill. So they achieved that. It's a fantastic achievement. These are all the girl groups who have ever gotten a perfect all kill. The list. 21.
Wow.
Miss A, Sister 19 Sistar. Look at this 2016 run. G-Friend, Mamamoo twice, Wonder Girls, Blackpink, IOI all had perfect all kills.
2016 was a year. Like,
this was the intersection between Gen 2 and the peak of like Gen 3. You know, this was the intersection years.
Wait, that was when you guys converted me into a K-pop fan.
That was the time.
You went on a great year. Look at this. All these groups were popping up. We even had some veterans making waves still, and we had IOI. It was a great year. Then we had Red Velvet 2018, 2021. We had Brave Girls and aespa 2022, G-I-DLE IVE 2023, NewJeans 2024, I-DLE. Those are all the girl groups that have perfect all kills.
Look at all these A-tier groups.
I know, right? These are all top tier
girls,
groups,
but everyone else.
Ups everywhere. Mm-hmm.
Man, IVE never got a perfect all kill. That's all I figured out from this.
Oh well,
that's terrible.
It is what it is, Doug.
Yeah. All right. Let's
congratulations to I-DLE.
Yeah, yes. They're killing it despite all the stuff going on.
Despite the mess.
Okay, dating news.
Oh yeah,
I saw shared that Apink Bomi and Rado, who is from the producing duo Black Eyed Peas Song, have been in a relationship for 8 years since 2017.
To them.
That's a long time. So he's the guy who you see in Stacy's TikToks dancing. The producer that dances, that's him. That's Rado. Additionally, people like it is not the most. It kind of age appropriate. Bomi's like 30 now. I think Rado's like 38 or 9. So
Oh.
I mean, they have a pretty big age gap, but yeah,
But like it's a realistic age gap now because they both begin with a 3 apparently.
Yeah, but when
Now.
it started, she was like 21 and he was like 29.
Yeah.
But to be fair, people are saying the narrative that he was basically producing his girlfriend's group's best songs at the time.
Dang.
I mean, he gave him his best song.
He gave them everything he had. You know, he produced a shit ton of songs for them. To be fair, right? Let me look at the list. I got a list here.
Yeah, pull up the list if you can. I'll look it up.
He
Rado,
did I'm so sick. He did he did drum. He did a lot of the second episode. Dilemma. He did all the recent stuff while they've been dating. He's done
Yeah.
all the recent stuff for A-Pink.
what about the older stuff though? Was that mostly
That's-
Brave? Brave?
Yeah,
Man?
that's not him. That's not him.
Okay.
He's been doing all the basically since they've been dating. He's been covering all this shit. Isn't that crazy? So there's that. Bomi confirmed it as well, so it is legit.
I mean, good on
Wow.
them. Good on them.
Hope they're
So
doing
that is there.
well.
Also, this one's crazy. Sohee from Alice.
Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Previously known as Elriz. She's getting married this year. She's going to be in a marriage with a businessman who is 15 years older than her, and she's going to get married and retire from the industry. That's it. I'm done.
Oh?
Oh, Nina, that's an
She's-
age gap. That's
She's 26.
That's-
He's
yeah.
41.
What the?
that's crazy.
And the meme people
Wait,
are
this
spewing
sounds like-
the memes people are spewing about this is pretty. What are the visuals from a Nugu girl group? Gets into golfing, marries a businessman. That's the meme they're sprouting about this one.
What?
Interesting.
They said it's a very
Well-
common thing right now.
Wish them the best.
Yeah, I wish them the best. That's a little random.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's a
little-
gap. 26 to 41.
Sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are like, she must have met him while she got into golfing because a lot of businessmen play golf.
I hope they had fun golfing.
Yeah. Last one. So this one was also last week. I didn't include, but I'm including it now since there's a lot of dating stuff coming out. Miju from Lovelies is dating a soccer player, Song Bum-gun, who is capped for the national team. He's a goalie and he plays in Japan right now.
Oh.
가자.
The funny thing is, this was referenced on Hangout With You this week as well. They kept talking about it.
They did.
And she thought that they were being sneaky about it, even though all of their Instagram photos were from the same exact place, eating the same exact food. She thought, how did they figure it out? It's like, if you compare the feeds, they were literally they were taking pictures in front of the same window, one after another, and posting it online. And people are like, are you dumb? You know, like, even this photo, look, these are separate from her Instagram and his Instagram, and people are supposed to not realize they're dating.
Yeah, I don't know how they didn't think. I mean,
Yeah.
Congrats to them
that's-
too.
Song's a good player. He's playing in J1, I think, right now.
He was on the
Japanese league.
reserves, like he was on the national team for the World Cup. He didn't play though, but he was on the team.
He was their third goalkeeper. Which is like, we had good goalkeepers, so like that's, you know what I mean. Like, I don't know how good he is, but hey, let's go.
That is
Congrats.
next one, Road to Kingdom confirmed to return with season 2 after 4 years.
Wow.
So if they're doing Road to Kingdom, that I would assume there's an actual kingdom after too, right? So
Right. That's how they
That's
did
how it
it.
works. Yeah.
seems like we're getting that. Some
Wow.
groups, Zikers, the new 6-8 turn will appear on it in the second
okay,
half of
okay.
2024 from July to December. So some of the smaller boy groups are going to get some exposure there.
See.
And it will probably lead to Real Kingdom in 2025. That's what people are thinking.
Okay.
Next, so Guhara's mother lost her inheritance lawsuit and won't be receiving any money from Guhara's estate. This is a positive thing because if you guys knew, her mom basically abandoned her at some point, and then she was trying to get money after Guhara died. And the brother was like, she shouldn't get any of that because she was not family to her. So there's that. But it happens so that the government worked how and the courts worked how it should, and the mother will not be receiving any money from her estate.
The popular belief is that a part of the reason why Kuhara, did what she did was because her mom abandoned her at a young age.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Still
right?
an unfortunate situation, but glad
Yeah, so the
there was
court
some
has now-
justice to it.
now ruled Article 112, which allows inheritance to direct parents, children, and spouses of the deceased, is unconstitutional. This means family members who have neglected or abused the deceased is like, it doesn't make sense to give them any money, is what the court is saying.
So this is essentially going to be a new line in the law.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
So basically, people who had like zero relationship or did bad things to the deceased will not get anything from their estate, which completely makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm very glad.
All right. I'm just happy that the brother's getting some form of closure in this.
That's good. Mm.
All right. Next one. This is a oof. So 30 cast and staff of KBS program Pick Me Trip, which includes Sonyoshide's Hyeon, A-Pink Bomi, even though the dating news dropped, and IOI's Nayoung, Secret Number Dita, and Chae-hee, are stranded in Bali after authorities have detained and confiscated their passports.
Sorry, what?
The reason for detainment is due to violating filming permissions and committing theft shooting, which requires a permit. Basically, the staff of the show did not get permits to film before they went to Bali.
Oh my god, guys.
That's like the first thing you need.
If you all remember, like 5-10 years ago, someone got in trouble because on some show while they were filming, they like ate an endangered clam that you're not supposed to touch.
God.
So this kind of thing has happened in Bali before where they don't know the rules and they just do whatever. But it seems like for this one, it seems like the staff just kind of got tourist visas instead of filming visas and then filmed an entire show. And yeah.
That's... Well, how are they gonna get back?
Well, they gotta go through the courts, probably.
Oh, that's great. Well,
isn't that ridiculous?
Fucked up. This is gonna be a long, another legal situation. That will
probably be sent back to Korea, and then the KBS, the whoever's running the show's actually in deep shit.
Honestly, we're kind of lucky because Korea has decent relationships with Indonesia. If they didn't, they would have been detained for a very long time. However, what does not help right now is that this was being filmed through KBS Joy, which is a channel under the KBS system, which is directly, it runs off of taxes. It is government connected.
Oh my god! So this is a government issue then?
This roots back up to the government. Yes.
How is this much lack of oversight here?
We're so many levels deep. They don't really give a shit anymore.
Yeah. So. I don't really know. Yeah, in 2019, someone got charged for eating an endangered clam. There's a history of people doing shenanigans in Bali. I don't know.
Here's the thing: like Korean media has Korean media has a bad habit of doing something first and then trying to apologize for it later. And I'm like, that can only get you so far, guys. Like,
yeah.
Anyways, on to the next.
All right. TVN's Earth Arcade spin-off. What is it called? Tichi Pang Pang or something?
Titi Pang Pang.
Titi Pang Pang. This is the one with like Hee-jin and Mimi and Youngji and Eunji. Everyone likes the show, Earth Arcade. They're gonna broadcast May 24th. It's a spin-off in Korea.
Ooh.
Because like people are too busy to go on a real Earth Arcade season abroad. Probably mostly because of Hee-jin's tour that she's on. So
that would make sense.
What they're gonna do instead is do something domestically, and it's gonna air on May 24th. So they're gonna get to scratch that itch for some Earth Arcade.
they made a internal bet to see who can get their driver's license first, right? That's their
that was on in the episode like 0 and 0-1 0-2.
Right. The pre-release, I guess, the YouTube.
Hey, I'm excited. I love any of this crew. The vibe is great. You should watch this. Like it's like peak Korean television right now. So you should definitely watch that. Next thing. All right, RM. Second album. Right place, wrong person.
Ooh.
Dropping May 24th. There's like he has some funny press material for it. There was like a cool looking picture. I'm gonna scrolling through the BTS channel to see if I could find it. I probably won't be able to, but there's like a funny picture. It like almost looks like a flash mob, and he's just kind of there goofing around. It's a really weird picture. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm excited for this.
Interesting.
The way Korean like law works, more or less, is that he had to have completed this before he went into the military. So he did the whole thing before he went.
Wow, that's crazy. 2 full releases before you go into the military. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, because
a
you are
lot.
not allowed to make content that you profit off of while you are enlisted. It has to be
Right.
completely done beforehand. So, forgetting that. That should be a lot of fun. Next thing, C9 Entertainment to debut a new boy group.
Nice.
Oh,
I don't know if that's the move, to be honest.
Didn't
CIX ain't
Yeah,
like popping
CIX.
off, you know?
isn't that one?
Signature's
Yeah.
not doing too hot either, but they're gonna do it.
Okay.
I don't know. Next one. Next Z, right? Next G. That's how.
Nexty.
Yeah. So this is the group that is JYP's Japanese boy group from Nizi U season 2.
What's wrong with this tongue?
Oh,
They are going to debut on May 20th, and I believe it has like 6
Okay.
Japanese members and 1 Korean guy. That's the
Okay.
composition.
oh, okay.
But
pretty
they
cool.
are also calling them like a K-pop J-pop group. So they're gonna do Japan first, and I'm
mix.
assuming they'll come to Korea at some point.
I see.
Similar to what what's their name?
EZU's doing, yeah,
EZU's
yeah.
doing. Okay.
So Niziu's
Yeah.
brother group is gonna debut, and people in the comments were like, "You could barely manage your own groups. Why are you debuting another one?" Well, there is that. Let's keep going. Next one. So first we got news. Kepler's gonna disband in July. You know the contracts ended because they're from
Oh
a TV
yeah,
show.
I forgot.
But then they're kind of giving everyone false hope by updating and saying, "No, we're still in discussions, though." Oh,
Are you
I don't know.
really?
We're getting mixed messages here, guys. So
We'll see.
I don't
Okay.
know.
I mean, best I can say is don't expect it to happen, so that when it does, you'll be surprised and you'll be happy. But
Yeah.
if it doesn't, you're not sad.
Is
you know what I mean?
Xiao Ting's just gonna go back to China and rake? I would assume, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he could have gonna join XG.
That's that. I
No,
don't think that's. No,
I don't think that's
I don't
gonna
think it's gonna
happen.
happen. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Really?
I think they'll make another group around her probably, but we'll see.
We'll have to see.
There was a part in the XG teaser, like a couple days ago, where they said 7 + 1 members, right?
Huh?
And people think it's
Actually?
because of the Alphas, their fan club, but other people like, nah, it's Hikaru. That's
Hikaru.
like what other people are saying.
Hikaru.
So,
I
We'll
don't
have
care
to
what
see
you say.
there.
It's Hikaru.
Next one. So here is that Purple Kiss tour, right?
Okay.
California, Oceanside, California, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Sacramento, San Jose, Portland, Seattle, then Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, Regina, Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, Toronto, Montreal, Quebec City, Halifax.
Okay, I mean, they didn't quite skip America in this one.
There is no East Coast dates.
I was about
It
to
is
say.
all-
Yeah, I was gonna
it is
say,
all
no
West
love for the
Coast
East
or
Coast.
Canada on this tour.
Hmm.
They're literally going to like every major city in Canada.
Interesting.
And there's one guy in our Discord, Dell, right? Shout out to Dell. I believe he is from Saskatchewan, and he's like the first K-pop group that is coming to my area. Or is he from Calgary? He's from one of the two. I don't remember off the top of my head. He's from one of these Canadian cities. He said he's a humongous RBW fan. He's a giant Mamamoo fan, giant Purple Kiss fan.
Yeah.
One of his favorite groups is the first group that is coming to his area for K-pop.
That's crazy. I'm good
That's
on it.
nice.
Isn't that insane?
That's insane.
That's insane that that's
Wow.
happening.
That's crazy.
What are the odds of that, right? Like, it's absolutely crazy.
Is he okay with you doxing his location?
I'm sure it's fine. He mentioned that he's in from Canada in the Discord all the time.
Okay.
Common knowledge. Okay. I'm excited for him. If you're a Canadian, you better go see Purple Kiss.
Let's go.
Boom. All right. Finally, we have AB6 fan concert. Find you. Look at the formatting of this post. Why would we do this, guys? Look at this. Look, what are we doing here?
What is going on?
Yeah, but just know they're making stuff. Look at this hilarious photo.
That's kind of funny, yeah.
But they are going to Toronto, Montreal, New York, Mexico City, Miami, Atlanta, Austin, Denver, Los Angeles. So if you're in the
Okay,
Midwest,
okay.
go F yourself, apparently.
Doesn't exist.
All right, that's all the news. In terms of stuff coming out next week, Mamamoo Solar, the Kingdom rebrand of the Kingdom, Extraordinary Heroes, Unite, TOZ, Elast, Fantasy Boys, Pentagon Kino. That is the songs that are coming out next week. After a short break, we're going to be talking about the HYBE Min-Heejin Civil War. It's going to be ridiculous.
It's going to be a long one.
It's going to be a long
3,
one.
2, 1.
And here's an extra special shout out to all of our Fiesta Patreons on patreon.com. Bagel, Charles, Cotton Ball, Ellie, Irv Tron, Gogu Mama, Honey Pools, Liam's Games and Toys, Luke Daniels, NJ Parks, South Texas Once, Siu Sumi. And thank you for joining Soju Talk, your weekly shot of K-pop. And special thanks to our Discord server mods, Jacob, K-Music Everyday, Koala, Max, No Bias Nuda, Tuggles, and Wolf297.
All right, guys, you have joined us. So this is the State of the Nation After Hours of SojuTalk episode 279. We have devoted the entire post show to talk about the HYBE versus Min-Heejin Civil War. We started our coverage of it last week. We have two giant things we're going to do. The first thing, I'm going to go through, similar to our news section, all the big news articles that came out last week. And then Warren prepared an entire presentation on this. It's insane. Let's
Very
just get
detailed.
into it. So,
yes.
where we left off last time, this was the last thing that happened last week. HYBE reported that they found documents where a plan to seize Adore management rights was written. Mr. A, Min-Heejin's right hand, downloaded sensitive data before leaving HYBE for Adore. He had the information about how much artists were paid. If the information he found was leaked to outside people, it would be a violation of Unfair Competition and Trade Secrets Protection Act. And HYBE confirmed that there was a download of data off of their server. Within this stuff, some of the key points was there was a document that had certain things. Some of the stuff was persuade HYBE to sell Adore. Also involved blackmail potentially. So there was basically, they were going to run an entire media campaign to try to get HYBE to sell their 80% of Adore. That was involved. Additionally, this was a part that came out like right after we stopped recording. The plan included the advantages of and disadvantages of selling 80% of HYBE's shares of Adore to global sovereign wealth funds such as Singapore GIC or the Saudi Private Investment Fund. These funds invested in Kakao Entertainment in the past. So the report is that they were potentially trying to sell the Adore shares to Saudi Arabia or to Singapore, and people found out that the Singapore one is also a subsection of the Saudi Investment Fund, another arm of it.
So the Saudis, we wanted to Newcastle.
So it's all that.
K-pop
yeah.
Newcastle. Okay, I see how it is. Okay.
So that was where we left off for there. Next thing we got here, some of the language including in their plan, including quote, make us untouchable, quote, ultimately escape. They were saying these things. Another document reflected that Min-Heejin said to others outside the company that Bang PD copied her to create BTS. Min-Heejin reportedly complained internally that I-DLE, TOUS, and Rise copy NewJeans. Some believe, though, that the conflict between HYBE and Adore arose due to a disagreement in pay and compensation. Min-Heejin reportedly wanted to double her salary. HYBE did not agree to this. We'll cover that kind of stuff down the line with Warren, the financial stuff.
The interesting thing is, back on April 22nd, when this was originally reported, this came out of Joseon-Ilbo. This wasn't HYBE claiming this. This wasn't Min-Heejin
These were just
this.
financial experts claiming that they think it's probably...
No. Everything else that you're reading about right now came from HYBE. This one in particular came from Joseon-Ilbo, from their own personal, investigation.
They're analysts, and they're like, it probably has to do with money.
Right, and they have some details about the contract, which can go into later.
Next thing, so this Mr. A, Min-Heejin's close friend.
Can you just give him his name is Shin Dong-hun. Why are we just ignoring his name? He's not Mr. A.
Okay.
Mr. Shin. Mr. Shin.
is a close associate of Adore's CEO Min-Heejin, told news that the documents found by HYBE and its contents were based on his own worries about the long unresolved conflict between HYBE and Adore. Quote, the contents that were written were based on my personal thoughts and experience. He claimed he never shared what he did with Adore's management or Min-Heejin and denied her involvement in the plan of taking over the company. So he fully denied. He said, it's just me. But later down the line, we found some receipts, and it's kind of apparent that she knew.
No, that's a different cat talk. They're two separate plans.
Oh, two separate plans?
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
But this Mr. Shin is trying to take the entire fall for this, at least the corporate part. That's what he's trying to do right here. He's trying to take the entire fall by himself. He said it was my stuff. I did it. It's just my personal thoughts, though. LOL, we didn't mean it.
Which makes sense you would do that, because at this point...
JK.
At this point, Adore didn't have Min-Heejin's laptop. Who knows if they do right now. At this point, they did not have her laptop, so they were going through his laptop for evidences. And this is where this came out.
Yep. Next thing. So people were like, what's going to happen to HYBE? Well, HYBE basically came out and said, we will carry out NewJeans' schedule normally, and it is unlikely Adore will suspend NewJeans' planned comeback. With just over a month until the comeback, it makes little sense to suspend the activity. So, NewJeans is safe, guys. We're going to get the NewJeans comeback. It's going to happen. Don't worry about it. We already got this pre-released a couple days later. So they said, chill. NewJeans is fine. That's all I wanted to say there.
Good.
Okay. Min-Heejin gave a statement. You remember the first statement was that giant post that Adore made, right? That's essentially her statement. She gave an interview with Ilgan Sports, right? Some of the things she said. Min-Heejin said that she never attempted to seize management rights of Adore. How can she take over management with just owning 18%? Which, fair. It's impossible for Adore to become independent without consent of HYBE, which we further down the line realized, yeah, true. It's impossible to understand HYBE's claim that I tried to do something impossible. HYBE's actions are because I made an internal complaint starting from a month ago and continued until last week. This is the plagiarism claims is what she's referencing here. And then finally...
Sorry, one quick note. I noticed the translation said she made an internal complaint. That was the way it's worded in Korean. She made an internal, formal letter of complaint. Not just she was complaining about it to people.
Yes.
This was confirmed from both sides, by the way. HYBE and Min-Heejin.
I see.
She also said, we requested a response from HYBE by April 24th, but instead we were met with a counterattack. HYBE is framing this as a takeover, but if it were about money, we wouldn't have raised these issues or made formal objections. She also stated, the 50-50 case set a precedent. I wouldn't be foolish to do something similar. Okay. So that was her second statement. Okay. But then HYBE came out. Reports contrary to Min-Heejin's claim that HYBE and B-Lift never responded to her complaints about I-DLE's copying. A reply was sent to her on, it's supposed to be April 22nd, not March 22nd. On April 22nd, a day before the deadline, she said, the reply was 6 pages of A4 paper sent via email, and there was a confirming receipt that she had read the email.
Yes.
So she said they never responded. HYBE said, we responded. It was 6 pages of A4 paper that we scanned, and not only did we send it to you, but we also have receipts that you opened the email.
So following this was the press conference where she was, again, I didn't get that reply. The day after, HYBE released a 12-statement rebuttal against the press conference. And one of those statements was that they sent her the letter on April 22nd, 10:01 a.m.
And they have a record of it, and they have a record sort of like on Kakao Talk. You can see when someone read your thing.
Right.
They have a receipt that she read it. So I don't know what's going on there. So this is more other documents that they found. New document found proving Adore wanted independence from HYBE. So this is what we are calling Project 1945. And we're going to hear about this a couple times. It was obtained through Mr. Shin, the Adore vice president. It focuses on, quote, accusations, civil lawsuits, and public opinion battle. So those were the focuses of what they were going to try to do. The date chosen, that Project 1945, to name the document isn't accidental. It's the date when Korea was liberated from Japanese occupation.
Oh,
so,
okay.
World War II, guys.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is said that even though HYBE owns 80% of Adore, many directors who are part of the board are close to Min-Heejin. And they're just kind of speculating on if people would side with her instead of Hype. There's nothing substantiating about any of those type of speculations, though. We do not know what is going on.
The context here is that their board of directors is 3 people, which is Min-Heejin, and then VP Shin Dong-hoon, and then the creative director Kim Ye-min. All 3 people are people who have worked with Min-Heejin for a very, 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 very long time. Kim Ye-min in particular from the SM days. So people are interpreting this as, okay, the board of directors is just Min-Heejin and her left hand and her right hand.
Friends, right?
Yeah. Okay. Let's keep going. So, Project 1945, Adore responds to this thing that came out. Basically, Mr. Shin came out and explained that the documents had no deeper meaning, and he compared it to his personal doodles and added the information about it was leaked even before the audit happened. So he's basically saying, don't look too deep into it. I just named it that. It's just, LOL. I named it that.
Okay.
JK.
I'm just an edgelord. JK. So basically what he's saying, I'm just kind of weird. I just named it that for fun. Clearly, though, he did not. Okay. All right, so this next article that came out basically saying that NewJeans' parents are really aware of what's going on. The contents of the email sent by Adore to representatives of HYBE. So it's reported that Min-Heejin sent emails complaining about that plagiarism claim, that I-DLE's plagiarizing them, with not only HYBE CEO, but with also B-Lift CEO, Bang PD, and even Scooter Braun, HYBE America CEO. So she was CCing everyone who needs to know. That's the report. So the following things that got reported was, according to new reports by Dispatch, they initially said that all NewJeans members were actually source trainees. Min-Heejin is saying it was just Minji. It seems like that's the case, to be honest. And then also it is confirmed that when Min-Heejin, quote, picked them to form a new group herself, the cost of training the girls fell on Source Music. Dispatch said that Adore did not have to pay for the cost of training NewJeans. So this is more or less a claim that before Adore was created, Min-Heejin was kind of working with Source Music, right? But when Min-Heejin started to get Adore and started to formulate her own group, the claim is that she took a lot of the bones of Source Music, like some of the infrastructure, some of the people there, and she also held auditions, knowing that the auditions was to make NewJeans, not to make a Source girl group, but Source ended up having to pay for these auditions. Those are the claims.
Just so people are aware, if you look up Plus Audition from 2021, you're going to see a lot of information for an audition called the Plus Global Audition. It looks like Min-Heejin made the thing. There are images that look very similar to NewJeans teasers. That's that.
Yeah, so that's
HYBE was aware of this too, though, right?
Yeah, we can elaborate on that in the future. Yes.
Okay.
So people are always equating this because they're like, well, Min-Heejin basically stole this group. Well, I don't know. Like, people are just forming opinions on this. They're saying like Min-Heejin's the reason G-Friend got disbanded. People are just throwing out stuff at this point. But it seems to be true that essentially Source footed the bill for the auditions to make NewJeans. That's what it seems like.
And this is also information that indirectly is confirmed by Min-Heejin. So
Min-Heejin also kind of confirmed that she basically took Minji because she liked her the best out of all of the Source.
She did, yes.
She really stated that, but we'll get to that during the press conference. All right, next thing. It was shared that Min-Heejin did not return the company's information assets required by HYBE as part of an audit. It's her laptop. She reportedly did not return her laptop to HYBE. Next, according to the industry, on the 24th, HYBE conducted an audit of Adore executives, including Min-Heejin, and specified a deadline for returning the company information assets, such as laptops, by 6 p.m. on April 23rd. Min-Heejin did not return them. It is reported that other executives of Adore, including Vice President Shin, returned their laptops, but Min-Heejin did not. So where is this laptop? That's one of the smoking guns of this entire case. We do not know where her laptop is. She probably threw it off of a bridge, set it on fire, or something like that.
We don't know. We don't know.
We do not know, though. But that's what some people are thinking. Next one. So this is when it started to climax here. A law firm representing Min-Heejin, so she did get her own law people now, announced that they will hold a press conference to address the acquisitions on 3 p.m. at 3 p.m. on what day was this? April 25th is when this all came to a head. It also came out that HYBE is planning to file a criminal complaint against Min-Heejin. HYBE announced the results of their in-house audit on Adore. The company found enough physical evidence where they state that they can confirm that Min-Heejin and Adore wanted to make Adore independent of them. One of the auditees, so someone working in Adore, also admitted that they submitted information assets containing a management takeover plan and contacts with external investigators as evidence and prepared documents for the quote HYBE attack for this purpose. So this is kind of saying someone said, yeah, we kind of knew about what was going on. Results of this investigation also show transcripts of conversations that were submitted where the CEO instructed executives to come up with a way to pressure HYBE to sell its stake in Adore. So this is more of the media perception battle, that kind of thing. The conversations also included subjects as ways to terminate the exclusive artist contract and validate the contracts between Adore's CEOs and HYBE. So basically, HYBE came out and said, we looked into this. We have a hell of a lot of evidence proving that they wanted to get rid of us.
We're gonna, for the sake of today's conversation, we're gonna call this the empty shell argument.
Yeah.
Which is right there, the bullet between. They wanted to turn Adore into an empty shell. We can elaborate on that in the future, but not in the future.
And
but
then
in the later
also a screenshot dropped before the press conference. So a screenshot dropped of a conversation from a group chat which was published where Min-Heejin is seen replying "Daebak," which means like, "Oh, that's cool, amazing, whatever." To Adore executives listing potential points of a plan against HYBE. This is kind of a terrible look because there's this screenshot of a chat where the executives are more or less talking about, well, this is how we're going to get out of HYBE. We're going to do these things, media campaign, yada, yada, yada. And Min-Heejin just responds with like, yeah, let's do it. Like, fantastic. You know?
That's dope.
Yeah, so that kind of looks bad on her part. And then I got two more. Right before the press conference, like an hour before, all of a sudden, HYBE accused Min-Heejin of consulting shamans to make decisions, the so-called, quote, witchcraft management. So this was an hour before the press conference. HYBE basically said, Min-Heejin is talking to shamans to try to F our company. To prove this, they released transcript conversations, so cacao chat logs of Min-Heejin and a shaman. According to them, Min-Heejin consulted the shaman on issues of BTS's military service. She also requested witchcraft to quote send BTS away and said quote it would benefit her if BTS wasn't there. That's what the shaman said. It would not benefit Min-Heejin if BTS were there. And then the transcript. All right, let's keep going. The transcript of conversations with the shaman confirms the timeline in which she consulted with the shaman for advice is the same as the timeline that she attempted to usurp management rights. So HYBE is saying, look, we have logs of her talking to the shaman while this is going on, where she's trying to steal the management rights. The shaman told her that it would benefit her if BTS weren't granted exemption. And here's a fragment of the conversation released by HYBE that confirmed their words. Min-Heejin, should BTS go to the army or not? Shaman, BTS will go to the army/enlist. Min-Heejin, well, would it benefit me if BTS went to the army, send them away? What do you think? Shaman, I'm going to send them to the army. They did not win a gold medal or something. Min-Heejin, later, I think I'll benefit from BTS not being there. So on face value, these were dropped right before the press conference, and everyone was like, oh shit, what's going on? So that's all I have. And then we had one of like the most epic press conferences of all time, right, guys?
The most memeable.
Why don't we go through the rest of the press timeline before we go into like the point by points, right? So to give a quick update on what happened after this, Min-Heejin did her press conference.
It was like a circus and a half.
It was a media disaster. I called it a media suicide. Trigger warning. I guess that's late.
She showed up in a room. It was her. She had two lawyers on one. She had one on one side, one on the other. And the room was just filled with all of the entertainment paparazzi and news writers of Korea, right? In the one room. And they even had to delay the start of the press conference because they kept taking flash photography of her face. It started on that.
Stop. Yeah.
And then this lady proceeded to talk for 2.5 hours with no notes, exposing everything she felt about HYBE, responding to all of their accusations, talking about everything that bothers her about the company. She cursed a lot throughout this press conference.
Oh, a lot, buddy.
It was insanity what was going on. And the craziest thing about it is that it worked to turn the tide of opinion onto her side in Korea. That is the craziest part about all of this, is that it worked. Because it came off as one person fighting against the machine. And Koreans are very oppressed at work. It came off as one person fighting against the company, fighting the good fight when the company's trying to downtrod them. It was absolutely insanity. She brought up chat logs between her and Bang PD. She brought up chat logs about everything. She was talking about the formation of NewJeans. She talked about how Bang PD asked her if they could crush aespa. She talked about how Minji was prettier when she was younger. It was like it was insanity what was going on.
It was 2 hours of 15 minutes. I was in the middle of a family trip. It was about 2 a.m. Did not get a lot of sleep that night.
It was insane. That's why we are memeing her. We are wearing her outfit. It was a...
What? No way.
Also, all of the stuff she was wearing in the press conference instantly sold out.
Out.
Yeah, during the press conference.
Everybody started buying LA Dodgers hats. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, that happened. While that was going on, HYBE filed an official note of accusation with the police, the Western Police Department to be exact. Later that night, they reported that her claims were so outlandish and bullshit that they do not need to respond, other than a couple of things. Which the following day, they went ahead and released 12 different statements in terms of how they disagree with a lot of statements that she made, which I pulled some statements out of, and we can look at that later. She also did an interview that night with CBS Newsroom, which dropped the morning after on that day. And then what happened afterwards is now a legal conflict, which we can get into.
It kind of simmered down after that. The only other things that it came out is people are accusing HYBE of being in a cult. It's weird. I don't know. What? I don't think we're going to get too far into that. There's accusations that everyone but La Seraphim is in a cult. But everyone's like, it's a bunch of bullshit.
There's two main plot lines right now. One about shitting on HYBE, and then there's another courtroom battle. That I think is a little more interesting. But now we've gone past the fun part. Now we're doing the long
This is
legal
the drag
battle.
out part. Yeah. So it climaxed at this press conference. If you want to look up some clips of it, it's insane. She's just saying there's a lot of motherfuckers at this company. She straight up says it.
There's transcriptions of this too on
it was
news articles.
They are considering this a top 5 most explosive moment in the history of the entertainment industry in Korea. This was insane.
News reporters were saying that this is gonna be what separates generations now.
Yeah.
Before and after this press conference.
Were you there? Were you there in the Min-Heejin press release?
And at the end of the day, the vibe of the press conference it wasn't that she was trying to win the argument, but she had such a strong desire to say what was on her mind and to get everything off her chest, so she can it was more for her than anyone else. I need to tell people what I feel about this company and what I think is going on and what they're doing wrong to me and to my group and yada yada yada. Now, at the end of the day, it comes off feeling is HYBE an evil company? A little bit. All companies are a little bit evil. Is Min-Heejin a great executive at a company? Probably not.
Probably not.
She even herself in the press conference said, "I'm just a stupid art student. I don't know anything about business." She even said that herself during the press conference.
That is a quote, yes.
And she is the CEO of one of the biggest entities in the entertainment industry. Yeah. People are memeing, saying she looked like an idiot, she looked crazy, but at the end of the day, this was all a perception battle, and she won that battle through this press conference. She was not winning before this conference. At least in Korea.
I will definitely say the general public's perception of the situation right now is pretty 50-50.
Okay.
There's a lot of the arguments around HYBE on top of what you mentioned. also roots back to the fact that they are now discovering that the current leadership at HYBE have done kind of shitty things with other companies in the past. Like Park Ji-won, for instance, who is the current CEO of HYBE, used to be the leader at Nexon, which is like our equivalent of EA. So like obviously that's not going to be a great look, you know? Obviously nobody is saying Min-Heejin is fit to lead a company at this point. They are not very happy with the way she did the press conference, or they're very excited. There's no in betweens at the moment.
People are saying like it was one of the most rock and roll moments ever, right? You know?
Yeah, because she pulled up and she looked like a drunk Nuna, like just like complaining about work. Like that's the vibe. That was the vibe. It was not the press. It was not the vibe of a press conference. Why don't we take a quick break, and we'll start looking at the point by points. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. Okay, guys. During our break, we decided that we kind of gave you the full timeline of the news that happened over the past week regarding the situation. But we weren't prepared this entire like presentation that gives background information, who is who.
The thing with the presentation is that it's so visual, right? It's like, is it a presentation here? So it would make a little more sense, I think, for this segment if you go over to YouTube and watch that part. However, if you've been following our episodes up until this point, you got the whole breakdown already. So
yeah. So what we're going to do is we're gonna end the SojuTalk episode here. If you want more a visual aid breakdown of the entire situation, where we're gonna review a lot of things we've already said here and other things like that, go on our YouTube channel. We'll make another video which is more or less breaking down the whole conflict, and we'll see you guys then. So we'll see you guys next time with episode 280. Bye everyone. 3,
Bye-bye.
2,
Bye.
1.